All right, what's going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick's Untitled Power. So I'm going to make a video about who I feel is the most improved bodybuilder from the 2018 Arnold Classic, or really at this point, you could just say the most improved bodybuilder of 2018 in general. So for that, I would go with Steve Kuclo, who placed 5th at the Arnold Classic this year. So Steve Kuclo is actually a guy that's been around for a while. He turned pro back in 2011. He's won shows like the Dallas Europa. He's also won the Arnold Classic Brazil back in 2014. But really after that 2014 Arnold Classic Brazil win, you didn't really see too much from Steve Kuclo in terms of crazy top 3 places or even wins. And you could arguably say that of the recent years, 2014 was probably his best year, of the past 4 years. In 2014, he won that Arnold Classic Brazil, and he also placed 9th at the Olympia in 2014, which would be his best Olympia placing. Then the following year at the Olympia, in 2015, his placing would drop all the way down to 16th, which was basically a tie for last place. Now, in 2016 at the Olympia, you would see Steve Kuclo move up from 16th all the way to 13th, which is a 3-place improvement, so that's not too shabby. But still, he wasn't really getting anyone's attention at that point. So as far as I know, Steve Kuclo hasn't really competed much, if at all, since that 2016 Mr. Olympia. I know he skipped the 2017 Mr. Olympia, and I'm pretty sure he did not do the Arnold Classic either of those years, 2016 or 2017. So in a lot of ways, this was like a comeback show for him, trying to really make a statement and prove himself. He probably took a significant amount of time off to focus on improving his physique and bring something completely different, which I think is what he did. Now, I remember when I first noticed Steve Kuclo going into this Arnold Classic, someone sent me a video of him prepping for the show. And honestly, he looked really phenomenal in that video. And after I saw that video, I had him in the top 6 after I made my prediction video, because I saw that video of him training. And this guy he looked shredded, he looked big, he just looked freaky. And I was like, man, this guy might come out of nowhere and crack into that top 6. But again, I was still very cautiously optimistic going into the 2018 Arnold Classic on how he would place, because of his previous track record. I didn't really know how he was going to do against a lineup like this. You got to keep in mind, man, this lineup had multiple Arnold Classic winners in it. You had Dexter Jackson, 5-time Arnold Classic winner. You had Cedric McMillan, Arnold Classic winner. Dennis Wolf, a former Arnold Classic winner. William Bonac, 3rd place at the Olympia. You had Rolly Winkler, multiple consistent time top 10 at the Mr. Olympia. Here you have a guy who was 13th at the Olympia going up against the lineup of really some of the greatest bodybuilders of the modern era. And he was right there going toe-to-toe with them in that top 6 first call-out. So I think Steve Kuclo's 5th place finish at the 2018 Arnold Classic is one of the bigger stories coming out of that show. I think this is really something we should be looking at going forward. The potential of a guy like Steve Kuclo to place highly at the Olympia, to win some of these other shows that are a little bit smaller, and maybe to do well, because what we saw here was a completely different Steve Kuclo. This guy was shredded to the bone. He brought the size, he brought the conditioning. His legs looked really, really good. The only criticism I would have is a very minor criticism. I would say his back might use a little bit of work. I would say just a little bit more depth and detail in that back, and he would be a very, very dangerous competitor. He looks very good from the front, phenomenal from the front, actually. He's just one of those guys that seems like a good guy. You want to see him succeed. He's a firefighter. He followed me back on Instagram after I met him at the Arnold Classic. He just seems like a really good dude, man. He's one of those dudes, comeback story, and you really want to see him do well. So I'm looking forward to seeing what Steve Kuclo is going to be able to do in the future going forward. I think this is going to build a lot of momentum for him going into some of these shows later in the year, later in the season. Let me know what you guys think about Steve Kuclo's physique in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching the video. Please give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Nick Strength and Power, signing out.